Hi, everybody. Welcome to Work Better Wednesday. We are here with Amina Moreau. She's amazing, and you can read all about her in our link that we have this video on. So, Amina, so many questions for you, and we feel like we could talk about this forever with you because you're so on top of it and on top of the future of work. But where would you say, just generally we're headed? What is the future of work in your opinion right now?
Yeah, I like to say that the future of work is flexible.
Mhm.
And I've really examined that because some people are saying that the future of work is remote or it's hybrid or it's back at the office or some combination of those. And the reason that I've ultimately settled on, and who knows, this could change next week because
Sure.
the conversation, everything is evolving so quickly. But right now, I am really embracing the idea of flexibility. And when I say that, I basically mean choice. I mean freedom.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've noticed get confused a little bit in the conversation is that people start equating a forced 2-day-a-week hybrid policy with flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if my definition of flexibility is choice, is freedom to choose, then a mandate of any kind is necessarily removing freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I equate freedom with, or flexibility with, the ability to choose whether to go into the office the 1, the 2, the 3, 5 days a week.
Right.
And the reason that I feel like flexibility is the topic to be focusing on is, first of all, over the last 3 years, knowledge workers have been given the freedom to choose. I mean, certainly during lockdowns, we had almost no freedoms, but as
Mm-hmm.
soon as we got a little bit of that back, we loved it.
Yeah.
And we had the choice to work from home, go to a coffee shop, go to co-working, go to the office. Like, we had all of this choice. And so companies who are now snatching that back without good reason
Mm-hmm.
are going to impact well-being and job satisfaction, which ultimately impacts productivity.
Right.
And the second reason is that flexibility costs less. Like, from a corporate perspective, if you look at your P&L and you are paying for an office lease 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, but your people are coming in maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and it's not everybody that's coming in. Maybe it's half, maybe it's 30% of your workforce is coming in for a day. I mean, eventually you got to ask yourself, does this make financial sense? And
Mm-hmm.
it's my view that offering people flexibility is a win-win situation where people get what they want. It's not a one-size-fits-all because everybody has different needs, and it's going to cost companies less. So I see it as a little bit of a panacea if you can figure out how to do it well. It's not easy, but it can be done.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my God. Libby, did we not say that the F word at work is the future
Right.
and that F word is flexibility? Okay, so
Yeah.
how does Radious fit into this? So you are the founder of Radious. You're in startup mode, but you're well established already. Tell us about the benefits of Radious, what it does, and the timeliness of this.
I feel like it's such a great tool for enabling that sort of flexibility. So just to give you a really quick rundown of how the platform works, think of it much like Airbnb, but for workspaces that are right in your neighborhood. So what we do is we take homes, apartments, ADUs in people's backyards, tiny homes, and we work with homeowners and renters and property managers to outfit those spaces with workplace amenities. So
Mhm.
things like AV for presentations or sit stand desks and meeting tables and stuff like that. And then we rent them out to working professionals and companies by the day. And the by the day part is probably obviously pretty huge for flexibility, because instead of signing a 10-year lease and paying every single day, you're only paying for the days you need, which means that companies never have to pay for unused real estate ever again. Doesn't that sound pretty lovely right now for all of those companies who are overspending for space that's just sitting there?
Mhm.
But the second part, aside from the on-demand nature of it that contributes to flexibility, is the in your neighborhood part. A big reason that we focused on activating residential spaces as workspaces versus going the commercial route is because we want to be able to tell companies and working pros, hey, we've got spaces down the street from your house. The biggest barrier to returning to the office is the commute. And so
Mhm.
what if you could find a great workspace that's maybe 3 doors down at your neighbor's house and is work equipped, and maybe you have, I don't know, 2 or 3 other colleagues that live perhaps within a 5 or 10 minute either walking, cycling, or driving radius, and maybe now you don't have to, commute 20, 30 minutes, fight with parking, and it alleviates proximity bias, it takes cars off the roads, it's better for the environment. And then back to flexibility, it gives people something that's far more accessible, more convenient. And so you can just jot over 5 minutes, do a meeting, head back home. And it's not this huge commitment that's an infringement on your lifestyle.
Could I
Yeah.
just add a quick note? I was doing well, all of us are familiar with Wisconsin, and I was doing a Wisconsin public radio show a couple months ago, or maybe it was in the middle of the pandemic. So, and one of the callers called in and talked specifically about the need for something like this, because she said, work from home is great, but my home is not amenable to this. Like, I don't have a bonus room. So I can see for so many people why this would be a huge benefit. I'm in love with the concept, Amina. Love it.
Thank you. And really, there are 3 main pain points when it comes to working from home. One is exactly what you just mentioned. The conditions might just not be conducive. Maybe it's too small. Maybe you have a bunch of distractions. The second one is just kind of isolation and being cooped up in the same 4 walls without really talking to a human being in 3 dimensions. That will take its toll over the long term. Even an introvert like me, I need to get out and talk to real humans sometimes. And then the third thing is burnout. And that's another thing that doesn't happen overnight, but after several months or maybe even years of working where you live, which is akin to living at the office, it's
Mhm.
nice to have a little bit of work-life separation. But the thing I want to stress is that the traditional office is not the only antidote.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my frustrations has been that the future of work conversation has been a little bit too binary in my view, that it's like this working from home versus the corporate office. And oh my goodness, there's like 1,000 different ways to work remotely, and working from home is just one slice of that pie. And it's actually really exciting to
Mhm.
consider all of those options, because if you don't, you're actually probably leaving a lot of opportunity on the table.
Yeah.
I'm giving the clap reaction right now.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, and that leads us to, so you are very active in Portland, and that's where you were founded, and you're very active in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but you were telling us offline that there's something in it for everyone. So could you tell our audience how they can find you?
This is one of the better kept secrets. We haven't been super public about this, but Radious is technically, unofficially available nationwide. So while in Portland and in Milwaukee, you can go on the website, browse a beautiful catalog of a variety of workspace types. If you're in another area of the United States and you have a need for a meeting, for a presentation, for getting together with your team, even without a schedule, or just a solo escape just for yourself, just get in touch with us. And we've got what we call our concierge service. And so if you give it just a little bit of lead time, 10, 14 days, give us a little bit of notice, we've got beautiful workspaces that are on our waiting list that have been like kind of chomping at the bit for us to launch in other cities. And we're being really intentional about how we do that, because as a startup, you have to be careful with how quickly you grow. But when people are excited about something you're building, you want to respond to that demand. And so the concierge is a way that we're doing that. So if you have a need, get in touch with me and we'll make something happen. We're a scrappy startup and we like to get things done.
Well, that is awesome. I mean, Amina, holy smokes. This is possible for many of us with a little bit of advance notice. What is the very best way for our folks to get a hold of you? People who want to work better and maybe use Radious.
Find me on LinkedIn. Out of all of the social media out there, I'm most active there. I love how it's that mix of business and personal. So find me there, shoot me a connection request. Let's DM, we'll get on a Zoom call if we need. We've got, certainly send me an email. I think all the information is going to be in the show notes as well. So definitely happy to chat. And then visit radious.pro, and spelling and hyperlinks I think should be in the show notes as well. And have a look at the platform and give me feedback too. I mean, it's so valuable to us as a team to hear what the world wants.
Well, and you are right on the edge of working better, helping all of us figure out new ways to work better. So we're building this together. We say this to our community all the time, like we need each other and we have each other. So if you all have feedback for Amina, if you want to test Radious or the concierge service, we strongly recommend that. I think I'm going to be doing it. I'm not going to lie. Like, this sounds really juicy and fantastic. So Amina Moreau, founder of Radious, and my co-host Libby Castro of the Work Better Project, we thank you so much for joining us on Work Better Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.